Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to John's Wrestling Thought of the Week. I came up with this idea, just thought I'd do some videos in between the times that I'm doing the vlog videos for Strike Wrestling, for CSF Wrestling, for UPW, or going out to a progress show or shows all over the country, just to give something a little bit extra, add a bit more content, and to do something slightly different. So I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the wrestling I've seen this week. Maybe WWE, maybe Impact, maybe Ring of Honor, maybe NWA, could be anything that I've seen. Maybe it was an independent show that I saw something special on. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on what I've seen in wrestling in that particular week. So this week, I'm going to give you my thoughts on AEW Dynamite. I'm going to give you my thoughts on NWA Power. I've had a very difficult week, I suppose is the best way to put it. Had some health issues, then are to the side, so haven't been able to see as much wrestling, but I'm going to kick off with AEW Dynamite. I felt Dynamite this week was a really good show. Felt they put a lot of good stuff in. I think they did a tremendous job throughout the whole show. It just felt like it had a really good flow to it. To me, it's been the best AEW Dynamite show I feel so far. We had the debut of Jeff Cobb, which I think added a lot. It was something that was, to me, out of nowhere, because I kind of expected Jake Hager to be the next guy to go against Jon Moxley, but instead of which, we got the reveal of Jeff Cobb. Now, I don't know if Jeff Cobb's going to be there long term. He may not be. He may only be there for a short term deal, but Jeff Cobb, to me, is something AEW need right now. He's a fantastic size. He's a great athlete. He had something different to AEW. I think he could be a huge asset. So if AEW can get him going forward, that would be huge for them. Absolutely massive. The other thing I loved about AEW this week was the promos. They did so many good promos this week. Dustin Rhodes, take as a first example, in the ring after his match in his own hometown, and he calls out Jake Hager for a match at Revolution. That's going to be really cool to see. It's going to be cool to see Jake in the ring for the first time in AEW. And I hope the match does happen, does take place, because I think a match between those two should be a really cool thing to see. Dustin came out with a couple of lines, both of which actually not very true. He said that Hager's make career is failing. It isn't. Hager is undefeated in MMA, so he's not failing in that, and he hasn't been in the ring yet in AEW, so he's not failing there either. Not that I'm biased at all or a massive Jake Hager fan. Moving on, we then had a great promo from Pac. Pac did a great promo this week. It was black and white. It was really impactful. I just liked it because it felt different, and it was, again, something different, a different element into the AEW show. So really enjoyed Pac's promo. And talking of different, Darby Allin, who didn't actually do a promo, but did do a promo, if that makes sense. He used cue cards. Because of his voice and what happened with the skateboard with Sammy Guevara challenging him to a match. He used cue cards and there was a skateboard and he was throwing the cue cards onto the skateboard. So again, just cool different elements this week. I enjoyed Kenny and Hangman as always. I like the preview of the Big Battle Royal coming up. The women's title changing hands, Rio losing that AEW Women's title to Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose, the new champion. I think that's going to be really interesting going forward, because Nyla is the beast, and who's going to be able to stop the beast in AEW, the women's division. Things certainly hotting up there. Also, you had MJF on there against Jungle Boy. MJF, just a complete and utter, well, he's a dick, isn't he? Let's be honest. You can't call him anything else. So, MJF beating Jungle Boy, obviously Wardlow getting involved in that match as well. So there was just some things there from AEW that I really felt I enjoyed this week. I think they've had a really great show, and I'm really looking forward to seeing actually what happens next week with Cody in his steel cage match, the tag team battle royal, and even more coming up on AEW. So really good week for them, and I think really good show. If you haven't seen it, do go and check it out, because I think it's well worth watching this week's episode. Now, on to another show that I saw this week, NWA, the NWA Power Show that is on YouTube, 6:05 for our friends in the US. Here in the UK, we can watch it that evening, obviously the time difference. Me, myself, because of my Well, my going work issues, let's put it that way. I I watch it when I'm able, so I watch it. I've actually got a big 50-inch TV behind me here, or sorry, behind the camera that you can't see, which I watch NWA Power on, and I am able to watch it when I've got the time, which is great because it makes my life so flexible. It means I can still catch up with wrestling. And I think that's been a huge selling point for NWA since it started. It's just been absolutely fantastic. And I can fit it in when I have time to fit it in, which is really cool. It's really, really cool. NWA this week, again, I think they've done such a good job of building characters. Taking people from other promotions, James Storm, Eli Drake, the Pope, Eddie Kingston, just Tom Latimer, taking guys that were in other promotions or other places and just basically allowing them to be themselves, just allowing them to be who they are and presenting them the way that I think they want to be presented. They seem all very comfortable and very happy. They all seem very motivated as well, and it's just such a joy to see. Again, the women's division NWA, you've got Alison Kay, you've got Melina, you've got Marty Bell. The emergence of Thunder Rosa has been incredible, absolutely incredible. She's now the NWA Women's Champion. Look at that for character development. From season 1, we're now on season 3. You can go and check out all the NWA episodes. I'll leave a link in the description because it is really worth watching. It's so much good stuff from episode to episode, and they build things really well. And actually, you want to see it every week. It's wrestling that you really want to see, and I'm just enthralled by it. And I really enjoyed. As I said, this week's episode, obviously led by Nick Aldis, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Obviously, he's from the UK, so that's special for me. Also, Tom Latimer from the UK beat Tim Storm this week in a singles match. His first singles match victory on NWA Power. So again, big up the UK guys. We seem to be in all the promotions all over the world at the moment, and for a small island, to have so many guys and girls doing so many great things across the whole of professional wrestling, especially in NWA, is cool. It's so cool. So for me, that's really cool to see, and to see those guys featured was really good on NWA this week. Ricky Starks, I've got to mention as well, NWA TV champion. The guy's just talent. If you haven't seen Ricky Starks, I didn't know Ricky Starks before NWA. I didn't know who he was or what he was, but actually just taken to him, I think the guy has got a ton of potential. You can just see him developing and being a future NWA World Heavyweight Champion, to be honest. I think he's got that much potential. He's just so poised. He's very good on the microphone. He is great in the ring. He's just got all those elements. He's just a guy from fans' perspective you see on screen, and you just go, wow, this guy is real up and coming, and a real gem the NWA were able to find in Ricky Starks, because that guy is definitely going to be going places in the future. So there are my thoughts this week on AEW and NWA. Like I said, I didn't get to see any WWE this week. Unfortunately, didn't get much time to get WWE in. Hopefully I'll have some thoughts on WWE next week, and we'll talk about that, and maybe a little bit around possibly Impact Wrestling as well. So hopefully I'm going to do these a bit more regularly. We're going to have these in between show vlogs when I go to shows and I vlog the shows and what happens. I do actually have a show coming up this week at Strike Wrestling, so I will be vlogging that. That will be a video coming out. Apologies in the delay. There was meant to be one in January. Unfortunately, due to my health and other issues outside of my control, I ended up not doing that. So unfortunately, the one from January didn't happen, but I do assure you I have 2 shows in February. You may get 2 in 2 weeks. So actually you didn't get one in January, but you may get 2 show vlogs in February, and then we're going to get a live and kicking then across the rest of the year. I'm going to do these in between to hopefully fill in those gaps, get more people looking at the channel. So if you like the video today, please give me a thumbs up, give me a like, hit the subscribe button, help me build the channel and help me surge through 2020. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'm going to catch you all very soon.